Going on, everybody? It's Key Time coming back with another one to talk about the games for week 8 of the NFL season. The first game I want to get into is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Buffalo Bills. Now, this game, Buffalo, they shouldn't have a problem with Tampa Bay because Buffalo is the better team than Tampa Bay. But since they've lost in London to the Jaguars, something has been going on with the Buffalo Bills. I'm not sure what it is. Offensive cohesiveness is down. They're not getting those third down timely stops like they used to on defense. But at the end of the day, at the end of the game, I believe that the Bills will find a way to win this game. The next game I have is the Rams versus my Dallas Cowboys. Coming off a bye week, I believe Dallas will win this game. Matthew Stafford, he is on a downfall. Even though the Rams offense is doing well, I don't think Matthew Stafford can hold up against the Dallas Cowboys pass rush for a full game. So that's why I got Dallas winning this game by at least 10. The next game I have is the Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. This game right here is kind of a toss up to me because you got the Vikings, they coming off of a huge win over the 49ers, and then you have the Packers, which is basically teetering into wild card or out of the playoff competition. I believe that the Packers will somehow win this game because they lost a close game to Denver last week. If it wasn't for a couple of defensive lapses, bad play calling by the defense, I believe Green Bay would have won last week over Denver. This week, I believe that they will win. They at home. This is the Vikings. This is a divisional game. Divisional games are always closer when the home team is at home. So I believe that the Packers will find a way to win this game. The next game I have is the Atlanta Falcons versus Tennessee Titans. Tennessee, they between a rock and a hard place right now. Ryan Tannehill is out for this game, and Atlanta quarterback Desmond Ridder, he has a good passer rate. He's only thrown 4 interceptions up to this point, and he has only lost one game at home up to this point. So, well, 2 games up to this point, Houston and Washington. So, what I see from this game, this is going to be a defensive game. Both of these teams, they don't really light up the scoreboard. I think that this game may end up in a 2017, 1916 type of game, the final score. I think that the Titans will win this game because they are at home and the Falcons, they have injuries that they are dealing with. The next game I have is the New Orleans Saints versus the Indianapolis Colts. I believe the Saints going to win this game. The Colts are up and down. Gardner Minshew, even though he is putting up good stats, what you going to get from that defensive side of the ball? They gave up 39 points to the Cleveland Browns to a second-string quarterback. Can the Colts defense hold up versus the Saints? I don't think so. So that's why I'm going with New Orleans to win at least by 3 points. The Patriots, the next game I have is the New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins, they should not have a problem. The Dolphins, they are pissed off from last week, blowing that game up in Philadelphia. The offense did not get set. That the offense did not get on a roll like we usually see them do. I think since they are at home, The New England Patriots, their offense is still struggling. Even though they scored 29 points versus Buffalo, that's the first time this season that they scored over 20 plus points in a game. Dolphins, this is a bounce back game for them. This is a game where you should not have any trouble beating the New England Patriots. I'm picking the Dolphins to win this game, and this will be a bounce back week for them. I'm picking the Dolphins to win by at least 10 points. The next game, the New York Jets versus the New York Giants. The Battle of New York. Both of these teams, they are up and down. But I believe the Jets, they have the better team and the better quarterback, the better running back, the better wide receivers. The Jets have the better cornerback. I believe the Jets are going to win this game by at least 3 points. This game is going to be closer. So I believe that they will win. The Jets will win by 3 points. The next game I have is the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jaguars, they have won 4 straight. First time them winning 4 straight since last season. So this game, what I see is if the Jaguars can get that running game going, starting early, and keep that defense honest, Trevor Lawrence, he will have a good day. But if they don't get that running game going, you got T.J. Watt. Jaguars got T.J. Watt they got to deal with on their hands this week. The Jaguars, they may need to double team T.J. Watt. They do, because one-on-one, he's crushing players this year. When it comes to him one-on-one, he's crushing players. He'll get past them within 3 seconds. For the Jaguars to win this game, they have got to keep T.J. Watt contained. And they have to open up that playbook, open it up. Doug Peterson, don't go for it on 4th down as much, because you went for it on 4th down a lot in that game versus the Saints, which you didn't have to. So you're dealing with a top 10 defense in the Steelers this week. Now, as far as the Steelers concerned, Kenny Pickett, I still don't know what I'm going to get from him. He is up and down. The defense has to carry the Steelers. If the Jaguars can get a 10, 20-point lead, but scratch that. If they get a lead going into the 4th quarter, keep running the ball, keep that clock running, and that way you will tire that defense out. Because the blueprint to tiring out a good defense is to have a dominant offense, and the Jaguars have a dominant offense. Now it's that time where they need to bolster up their offense and have that offensive line take over games like they did against the Colts, the Bills, and against the Saints. I believe that the Jaguars will win this game by at least 10. The next game I have is the Philadelphia Eagles versus Washington Commanders. Another divisional game. The Eagles, they'll win this game, but it'll be close. Because the Commanders, you don't know what you're going to get from them. Sam Howell, he is okay. But on that defensive side of the ball, Commanders' 3rd down defense is middle of the pack, 14th in the NFL. They may get off the field, and then they might not. And then with that offense, their offensive numbers for the Commanders, they keep going down. They are the 22nd ranked offense in the NFL at averaging only 19 points per game. That's not gonna win you very many games, and it's not gonna win you this game this week versus the Eagles. I expect the Eagles to come out and be explosive on offense, and the defensive side of the ball. I believe that the Eagles, they can get about 3 or 4 sacks, maybe 5 against the Commanders offense, because the Commanders, they lead the NFL in most sacks allowed with 24. And this is only week 8. Ain't no telling what the Commanders will allow in terms in sacks by the end of the season. That's why I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game by at least 10. The next game I have is the Houston Texans versus Carolina Panthers. Carolina, we know that they are in a work in progress. The head coach, Frank Reich, after every game that he does, he has to go to the owner, David Tepper, to talk about what he liked, what he didn't like in the game. I think that the Houston Texans, with them, they have a little bit of a winning streak going on. I believe that the Houston Texans will go into Carolina and win this game, but this will be a close game like all their wins have been, with the exception of the Jaguars. I believe the Texans, they will win this game by at least 4 points. And from the Panthers side of things, this will be another loss, another home loss for them. And I believe that, is Frank Reich on the hot seat? He may be on the hot seat, but I'll tell y'all, I'll get into that a little bit more on another video. The next game I have are the Cleveland Browns versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Seattle, it's hard for teams to go into Seattle and beat Seattle, and it's going to be hard for the Browns to go in there and beat Seattle with a second string quarterback. I believe that Seattle, they will win this game by at least 10 points. And that running back, Kenneth Walker, he will have over 150 yards rushing on the Browns defense. The next game I have is the Kansas City Chiefs versus Denver Broncos. Kansas City Chiefs, they'll win this game outright. I'm not gonna get in too much about what Denver got going on, because we all know that Denver is the worst team in the NFL. They are second to worst in offensive statistics, at only averaging 15 points a game. And on defense, their third down defense remains one of the worst in the NFL. The Chiefs, they will have a efficient day as far as on the offensive side of the ball. That running game, I believe that running game is gonna get better in this game, because the running game last week, it got better as the game went on, and that's why I'm gonna pick the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game by at least 10. The next game I have are the Baltimore Ravens and the Arizona Cardinals. Arizona, one of the worst teams in the league. They at home. I believe that Baltimore will come in there with that offense that they have. They have too much offensive firepower. They have Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr. You have those running backs clicking on all cylinders. You got Lamar Jackson clicking on all cylinders. That offense is starting to click at the right time, and I think that they will win this game by at least 13. The next game I have is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the 49ers. Now, the last 2 weeks, the 49ers have lost surprising games. They are at home this week, and I think that with them being at home, that defense that they have and the offense that they have, I believe the offense is going to have a better showing this week than it had the previous 2 weeks. I think that the 49ers, they will win this game. They will win this game by at least 3 points, because this is going to be a close game, because Cincinnati, they have a high-powered offense as well and a good defense. So the 49ers, they will win this game by 3. Sunday Night Football, the Chicago Bears versus the LA Chargers. This game, I don't know what to say about this game. You have Justin Herbert, a struggling quarterback, and then you have this new quarterback for the Bears who really didn't have to do anything in the game versus the Raiders, because we all know the Raiders are a bad team. This is a game that the Chargers have to win in order to turn the corner and turn their season around. So I have the Chargers winning this game by at least 10. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, the running back, and the whole offensive line, they got to get it. They got to get it together. Brandon Staley, you have got to call a better game. Don't call a fourth down when the game is close and then you don't get it, and then that's the reason that you lose the game. Your job is on the line, Brandon Staley. You are on the chopping block. So I think that the Los Angeles Chargers, they will win this game by at least 10 points. The last game of the week, Monday Night Football, the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Detroit Lions. I believe Detroit is going to win this game going away. Detroit will win this game by at least 16 points, because Detroit, they just have the better team, the better players, the better quarterback, and the better defense. The Raiders defense is near one of the worst in the league, just like the Cardinals and the Broncos. Plus the Raiders, they offense, they cannot stay on the field long enough to sustain drives, and going up against a top 5 defense in the Lions, they are going to have a tough time trying to generate points. So I think that the Detroit Lions will win this game by at least 16. And those are my predictions for Week 8 of the 2023 NFL season. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and remember, the key is always on time.